Sacred of American undertakings, the doing of the people's business. Let me be very clear. The scenes of chaos at the Capitol do not reflect a true America, do not represent who we are. What we're seeing are a small number of extremists dedicated to lawlessness. This is not dissent. It's disorder. It's chaos. It borders on sedition. And it must end now. I call on this mob to pull back and allow the work of democracy to go forward. You've heard me say before in different contexts, the words of a president matter, no matter how good or bad that president is. At their best, the words of a president can inspire. At their worst, they can incite. And therefore, I call on President Trump to go on national television now, to go forward, to fulfill his oath. You heard me say before in different contexts, and defend the Constitution. The words of a president matter. An end to this siege. No matter how good or bad that president is. To storm the Capitol, to smash windows, to occupy offices, the floor of the United States Senate, rummaging through desks, on the Capitol, on the House of Representatives, threatening the safety of duly elected officials. It's not protest. It's insurrection. The world's watching.
This is supposed to be an insignificant
like so many other Americans, I am genuinely shocked and saddened that our nation, so long the beacon of light and hope for democracy, has come to such a dark moment.
This is nuts.
Through war and strife, America's endured much. And we will endure here, and we will prevail again, and we'll prevail now. The work of the moment and the work of the next 4 years must be the restoration of democracy, of decency, honor, respect, the rule of law, just plain, simple decency. The renewal of the politics. It's about solving problems, looking out for one another, not stoking the flames of hate and chaos. As I said, America's about honor, decency, respect, tolerance. That's who we are. That's who we've always been. The certification of the Electoral College vote is supposed to be a sacred ritual, which we affirm. The purpose is to affirm the majesty of American democracy. But today's a reminder, a painful one, that democracy is fragile, and to preserve it requires people of goodwill, leaders with the courage to stand up, who are devoted not to the pursuit of power, or the personal interest pursuits of their own selfish interest at any cost.
Yeah, DJ,
but
this
the common
is crazy
good.
Right now, man.
Think what our children watching television are thinking.
DJ, he's talking
to
you right now. Think what the
rest of the world is looking at. For nearly 2.5 centuries, we, the people, in search of a more perfect union, have kept our eyes on that common good. America is so much better than what we've seen today. Watching the scenes from the Capitol, I was reminded, as I prepared other speeches in the past, I was reminded of the words of Abraham Lincoln in his annual message to Congress, whose work has today been interrupted by chaos. Here's what Lincoln said. He said, "We shall nobly save or merely lose the last best hope on earth." Went on to say, "The way is plain, peaceful, generous, just. A way which, if followed, the world will forever applaud. and God must forever bless. The way is plain here, too. That's who we are. It's the way of democracy, of respect,
This is
of
absolutely
decency,
nuts.
of honor, and commitment as patriots to this nation. Notwithstanding what I saw today and we're seeing today, I remain optimistic about the incredible opportunities. There has never been anything we can't do when we do it together. And this God-awful display today is bringing home to every Republican and Democrat and Independent in the nation that we must step up. This is the United States of America. There's never, ever, 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 ever been a thing we've tried to do that we've done it together. We've not been able to do it. So, President Trump, step up. May God bless America. And may God protect our troops and all those folks at the Capitol
Thanks, Uncle
who are
Joe.
trying to preserve order. Thank you, and I'm sorry to have kept you waiting.
This is crazy.
We've seen today. President-elect Joe
So I'm gonna go
Biden
ahead and turn
asking,
it
calling
down.
on
Like,
President Trump.
right now, this is absolutely nuts. You've got a mob that was incited by the active president of the United States who's actively trying to overthrow an election, trying to steal an election. He's hiding right now. He hadn't tweeted. And the crazy part about it is that
Actually, making a few comments.
when you go to like the ultra conservative news media, like OAN, if you go to OAN, this is what they've got up right now.
At times during this period,
Citizens gather in Washington, D.C. for Save for America rally.
Healer in chief.
President Trump addresses supporters at Save America March.
Probably even he couldn't have imagined.
Latest headlines. Open to small things federal government can do to address election issues. Like, they're promoting this absolute nonsense. Newsmax, I'm going to show you guys Newsmax. So Newsmax, their entire website's down. Like, I don't know if they took it down because they've been getting sued by everybody left and right for promoting absolute nonsense and propaganda. But watch this. Let's see if it's back up. Let's just search Newsmax. Newsmax. Yep, that's what I meant. Newsmax. So let's go to newsmax.com.
Vice President Kamala Harris, Vice President-elect.
Let's see what happens.
Vice President will have the tying.
This is absolutely crazy right now.
Just breaking here a few moments ago before we went to Joe Biden. Let's go back to Hallie Jackson right now, who can give us some more insight as to
Can't
what
get
is
there.
happening there in Washington
It's broken.
as the light begins to dim.
As it begins to get dark here, Lester, I can tell you that it appears we are going to be hearing from President Trump at some point in the coming hours. I am told.
Okay, so she's saying that we're going to actually hear from President Trump, but I doubt it. I mean, he's going to have a taped message, is what she says. So there's no way he's going to answer questions. Like, there's no way he's going to answer questions. Coward.
Mob-like scene that we have seen at the Capitol, outside and inside, as we're playing now some of that video from earlier.
The man's a
of the
coward.
Protesters storming the steps. We still do not know. I have no clarity on remarks, for example, the content of those, what specifically the president might say. But you have to remember, he has had people close to him, people who are his
This is
Republican
nuts.
allies, publicly now call on him to do something. Not just Joe Biden, right? Not just what we heard from the president-elect, who is ending his remarks and very clearly saying, time to step up, President Trump. It appears we will hear something from the president. Of course, Lester, this could go in various directions, right? Presumably, you have to think that the
let's see if
president
anybody
will,
else
in
is.
fact,
I'm just gonna
call on these now rioters to stop, to abandon this so-called mission, to turn around and to leave, particularly now as we are coming within just, what, an hour and 45 minutes of this curfew happening. So that's one piece of it. But, Lester, this is also a president...
Just look at this guy in the Capitol building with his feet propped up on somebody else's desk.
...has worked to spread misinformation repeatedly about the election's results, repeatedly calling on his own vice president to try to in my words here, mess with the results of this electoral college vote count. The vice president does not have the authority to do that. The president has repeatedly insisted he has won states, specifically, for example, Georgia, that he did not win in this election. The president has repeatedly insisted that he is, in fact, the person who should legitimately be inaugurated, take office, continue to keep office after January 20th. That is not accurate. That's not true. That's not correct. That's not
This is
what's happening.
crazy.
The president may have a platform here with the world watching him to continue to make those false and misleading. And
If he gets up
inaccurate
there and
and
says
troubling
anything other
claims.
than,
We
all
talk
right,
about the world
my
watching,
bad,
Lester.
y'all go
I
home.
have to tell you, Boris Johnson, that the Prime
Like-
Minister of the UK, is reacting to this as well, calling what you're seeing on the screen now disgraceful scenes in the United States. He's continuing that the U.S. stands for democracy around the world. It is now vital that there should be a peaceful and orderly transfer of power. You now have international allies of the president calling on the president
Like,
to give up
this
the
doesn't
fight,
even make
basically,
sense,
to give
man.
up the game, to say that it is over. And Lester, I think that is perhaps the only thing that is going to get these people out of the Capitol. And I have to tell you, I'm not even sure that that is 100% going to do it here. Time is of the essence, and so we will, of course, be watching to see when that message,
Like,
as I'm being told by
there's
source familiar with
nothing
that
to
message,
say. Like,
will
this
be
is
taped and will
just-
be coming out soon, Lester.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to Twitter,
You
see
know,
what's
you've
going on.
covered this president for a long time, and he doesn't retreat. He doesn't give ground, and
No.
so that makes you wonder: is this a case, Hallie, of be careful what you wish for? Could he perhaps inflame the situation any further? We've all been through those circumstances where, you know, he's about to make live statements, and we have to be very careful what we air because of his propensity to tell untruths.
Like, for
And I
real.
think that's the point here, Lester, right? And I
How
do
do we
think
even
I had it in
allow
my
these
head as I
guys
was
to get in
watching
there?
President-elect
Like,
Biden's speech,
how did the
basically,
Capitol Police let these guys just
drilling
walk right
down and
past them?
saying, Mr. President, you need to address the nation. I do think, based on
Like, if
President Trump's
any of
past
those people
patterns,
would have been black,
it's
they would have been
possible that there
shot,
could have been an
no
entrenchment
questions
for the
asked.
president. He's
And
somebody who can
the
fairly
Capitol
be
Police
called
just let them
a
walk right in there.
defiant leader,
This is
defiant
nuts.
even in the face of what seems to be the logical and the correct thing to do in a political situation, much less a national security situation as we are seeing now. And I have to tell you, the shot that we're looking at that's coming in, stunning. I believe that is the area where the press goes down onto where the Senate chambers are. It looks like that is the workspace with people. It looks like National Guards officers.
Like, these guys need to be
and
tried
sort
for
of law enforcement
treason.
Officers with long guns. It is a disturbing sight. But I think you're right, Lester. I think that the president is going to use this platform for something, right? The something is still a question mark.
Yeah, Hallie, thank you. Let me turn it back over to Savannah.
Well, let's bring everybody up to date. It's 20 minutes after 4 o'clock here on the East Coast, and what you're witnessing is, I think, fair to say, unprecedented. Throngs of protesters turned mob coming and breaching the United States Capitol at the very moment it was performing a sacred constitutional duty, certifying the Electoral College in order to implement the peaceful transfer of power.
I don't
in
know,
our
just go eat
democracy.
something,
We
man.
just heard
It's up
from
to
the
you.
Vice President, former Vice President Joe Biden, President-elect, who will take
Yeah.
office in 2 weeks. He said democracy is fragile.
Hey, turn that light
and
back
we're
off.
seeing that today, and he called directly on President Trump to get on camera, to get on television, and ask his supporters to call it off, to stop, to give up the game, and to retreat peacefully from the Capitol. As a law enforcement matter, we have not seen the Capitol Police or any of the other law enforcement agencies who have been called in to assist them come in an aggressive way trying to clear these protests. Whether they should or shouldn't is probably something that is a matter of debate right now. As we speak, members of the Senate and House there in Washington have been told to shelter in place wherever they are, whether it be their offices or in the matter of those who were on the Senate floor.
This is
or
crazy.
On the House floor when this took place, when those demonstrators breached the Capitol, were taken to a secure location, which we cannot reveal. Some of them are together. And in fact, we have reporting that those senators, the group of senators who were together, watched the President-elect Joe Biden's speech together. We also have been informed by one of our reporters on the scene, Kelly O'Donnell, that Vice President Pence is still at the Capitol because it is simply not safe
Like,
for him to return to the
what
White
is
House.
happening
That
is
the
that
situation in Washington
our
right now.
country
One
is
woman has
filled
been
with
shot.
idiots who
It
listen to an
appears to
idiot
be a
and
protester
take
that
the
was
words of a
shot.
lying
Reportedly
idiot as
was
fact.
from law enforcement. She has been taken to the hospital. We don't have
For
an update on her
weeks, he's
condition.
been lying about the election,
And that
saying
will
how
bring
he
you up to
won.
date.
Like,
Also, an
he
IED,
didn't. he was so far from winning. And the crazy part of it is people that I know can have rational thought and question things are just blindly following him. And it doesn't make any sense.
Congresswoman, you, of course, were an
Now we've got
outspoken opponent
morons
of the tactics
storming the
that we
Capitol
saw
building on what's
in terms
supposed to
of the
be a
politics, whether the electoral college vote should be objected to. So you were
it's
one
supposed to
who
be
said,
just like a
"It's time
symbolic
now,
thing
the
that they
election is
open the
over,
votes and
and
call
it's
it
time
out and
to
certify and
perform
like
our
this
constitutional
election's
duty."
already been
So,
certified.
just
So
we
I
know
don't
where you stand on this, but let's just
this
get
is
to
just
what
stupid.
happened today.
Here's
Where were you? What did you see? And how are you?
Fine, Savannah. I'm not going to talk about where we are, but we were on the floor of the House of Representatives performing our constitutional duty to count the electoral votes when we had to be evacuated. And we are, in a place with bipartisan group of members, and my Democratic
Joe already
counterpart,
won.
Hakeem Jeffries, and I have both made clear that
Joe
we
already
do not
won. He won the election. Like there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He won the election by well over 80 electoral votes.
have got to be defended and protected. We have an oath to the Constitution.
Like President Trump has brought him and his team has brought close to 60 lawsuits, probably 60 lawsuits
Cannot stand.
over the election, suing about
Sending a mob. Who do you believe is
different
responsible? Who sent the mob?
protesters, all kinds of different things. Okay, there were 60 different lawsuits. They didn't win but one of them, and the only one they won, they changed a cure date in Pennsylvania from 9 days to 6 days, which meant that the ballots had to be cured within 6 days instead of 9 days. A state that decided they weren't going to count mail-in ballots until the day of the election, then decided that they all had to be counted within 6 days instead of 9 days. Like, that's it. That's the only thing he lost. So, 59 losses, and he's still talking about absolute madness. Let me see. I've got this wrong screen. It's just crazy. Well, what's happening right now is that you had a bunch of morons storming the U.S. Capitol during what's supposed to be a completely symbolic act of Congress of opening the electoral votes. There's been somebody shot. They found an IED there. Like, this is nuts.
In the chair of where the Senate president presides over the United States Senate, and here's some protester sitting there. Now we've got
Look at this
another
guy.
shot of some protester.
Look at this guy.
Sitting in an office with his feet up, literally with his feet up. This is the United States Capitol. This is sacred ground in our democracy. What
This guy's
goes through
speaking
your mind
in
when
the
you see these
speaker's
images?
chair. Like,
Well, it is infuriating, and it's heartbreaking, and it will not stand. You know, we are.
DJ, how's the audio?
We have,
I'm not monitoring the audio through these headphones, so I need it. Can you hear what's going on?
And we have had the peaceful transfer of power. The peaceful transfer of power is something that, Ronald Reagan talked
Yeah,
about.
I mean,
that in some instances
it's
we take
just
for granted, but it is
absolutely
miraculous.
nuts
And I
right
think
now.
that what we've seen today is
And Trump is still not saying anything. He's supposed to have like a written statement that he's going to release, but he needs to be out there right now at the Capitol of all places saying, hey, y'all need to go home. This entire time I've been talking about fraud. I've been lying. I've been just trying to use you people to get extra money. This has been a grift the whole time. I already got an extra $250 million since the election, so y'all go ahead, disperse. I'm going to be out of here in 14 days. I'll see you at Mar-a-Lago. Like, that's what he needs to do. Like, there's no question about it. After his call with the Secretary of State in Georgia, he should have been required to resign. Like, this is the most incredible, unbelievable presidency. Like, the incompetency of it, the brazenness of it, the just complete disregard for the truth. Like, this is not how our leaders are supposed to act.
For days and weeks.
yes. I mean, it obviously is.
No, people hate Trump because that he's a liar and he's corrupt to the core. And I voted for him in 2016. Like, that's the crazy part of it was I actually voted for this man 4 years ago.
But the president has tweeted
Oh, of course he tweeted. Hold on, let's see what the tweet is.
He's about to tweet.
Okay, he's about to
Video
tweet. Let's see what the
statement.
video statement's going to be.
He had been urged by members of the Republican caucus, including senators and members such as yourself, to say something. I think they're telling me we've got this video statement from the president. Can we roll it? Let's go.
I know your pain. I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us.
Are you kidding me?
It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side.
This idiot.
But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time.
This
There's never been a
nuts.
time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace.
You caused this.
So go home.
You're up there
We love
live
you.
right now.
You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are
By the way,
so bad and so evil.
Here's what it looks like.
I know
on
how you
Twitter.
feel. But go home and go home in peace.
This claim of election fraud is disputed.
Well, that
This
was the
tweet
statement
can't
from
be
the
replied
president
to,
released via
retweeted,
Twitter.
or liked
Congressman
due to
Cheney,
a
I think
risk
you're still
of
with me. I mean,
violence.
here you are. You're on lockdown. Was that good
come
enough for you?
on.
He's telling folks this was stolen from you. This was awful, but go home now. Do you think that was the kind of statement that will get the job done?
Look, the President of the United States
This is ridiculous.
should have, before now, made clear that he wasn't going to countenance any kind of attack or violent
DJ, how
activity
you like the
like
new
this.
layout, though?
And it is good that he has asked people to go home. But what has happened today is unprecedented in American history. And when you have violent mobs storming the floor
What
of
are
the
you
House of
talking about?
Representatives
Trump didn't
and the
help
floor of the
people
United
get
States
jobs.
Senate, and the
Trump
president's
actually
response is to
lost
say that he
the
loves
country
those
jobs.
people.
If you look at the Rust Belt where he was campaigning, when
it
he
is
won
absolutely
800 votes in 2016,
counter
flipped a
to
bunch of
the
counties that
Constitution
historically voted Democrat, voted for him
and
because
counter
they
to the
promised
peaceful
jobs.
transition of
Well, a lot of
power and the
those plans
values on which this
ended up
republic
being
was built.
shut
We have
down
oaths
within
that
a
we have
year
taken the
after they voted
Constitution,
for
and we got
Trump.
to uphold those oaths.
Jobless claims are now at an all-time
And Congressman,
high,
I mean,
because
even
of the
more
way
than
he's
that, I
handled
mean, yes, I
COVID-19,
hear
it's
what you're
just
saying, but
ridiculous.
is it going to get the job done? In other words,
the
is he talking
president
out
is
of
to
both
keep
sides of his mouth?
the
He's saying,
country safe.
go home,
That's
but
what
you
he
were
said.
robbed.
He
You
actually
have
said
every
that that
right
was
to
the
be
job of
angry.
the
This was a
president.
fraud.
Now
This
we
was
have over
stolen. I mean,
300,000 dead Americans.
he's
We
doing
have the
two things
highest-
at
we have
once, and the goal here, I think, of the
18% of
statement, I
the
think what
world's
those of you in
deaths, but only
lockdown right now
5% of the
who would
world's
like to get about your business
population.
and go
Like, that
on with their day,
doesn't make sense.
is there's one goal, which is get this thing under control and get the mob out of there.
That can't work right
Look,
now. Like, I'm
there's no
literally
question
having
about that,
quarantine
Savannah.
today.
No, we
Like, I
have
started
very
my quarantine
deep
today.
and clear political
in
differences in
January.
this country. But we don't resolve
After
those
a
differences
year
by mob
after
violence. And it
we
doesn't
knew that
matter
this
what
was
side
here.
of those issues you stand on. The President of the United States statement now, in my view, was completely inadequate. What he has
Yes,
done and what
this
he has
is
caused
absolutely
here
crazy.
is something that we've never seen before in our history.
Yeah, and the
it's been
Simpsons predicted a lot of
245 years. And no president has ever failed to concede or agree to leave office after the Electoral College has voted. And I think what we are seeing today is a result of that, a result of convincing people that somehow Congress was going to overturn the results of this election, a result of suggesting that he wouldn't leave office. Those are very, very dangerous things, and he will be
Okay, is that better?
remembered. This will be part of his legacy, and it is a dangerous moment for the country.
Congresswoman Liz Cheney of Wyoming, stay safe, keep us posted,
Yeah, normally I
and
don't
thank you
stream
for your
stuff like this,
time.
but
We
this
really
was so
appreciate it.
important that I felt
Thank
like
you,
I
Stan.
needed
I
to.
appreciate it.
4:30 on the East Coast here as we watch
Yeah,
what's unfolding at
politics
the Capitol.
should
Lester,
kill
I'll send
your
it to
vibe,
you.
because right now, the
Yeah,
politicians
Savannah, I
in
want
this
to bring in
country
Andrea
are
Mitchell right now.
just
Andrea, your thoughts on what we heard in
horrible.
that video
Like,
tweet from the president?
there's just nothing
As
good
is
about
often
it.
the case with him, he doesn't
Well, like, that's
retreat.
why we have to
Did he
pay
pour
attention, because
water
there
or
is nothing
gasoline
good
on
about
this
it.
fire?
We actually have to be
I think he
active
poured
and changing
gasoline
guys
on this fire,
in
a
your
fire that he
generation
himself set. His
are
former
going to
communications
look like to
director
people in
hours
my
ago, Alyssa
generation to make
Farah,
changes, but, like, that's-
tweeted,
that's
you
the
need to
problem.
condemn
Like,
this.
my
That was
generation looked
hardly
to
a
people
condemnation.
above
He
me
said,
to
I
make the
love
changes,
you.
and
He
nobody's gonna
again
make the
said
changes 'cause
that
of
the
people,
election
the way our country American is set up
stolen,
is that the rich
that
take
it
care of
was
their own,
fraudulent. He
and
repeated all of
they
these
are going
lies,
to
and then he
protect
says, "I
themselves.
love you," and
They are
go
going to
home
be the ones
peacefully.
that line the pockets of the
That's hardly
politicians.
going to get these people.
And then the politicians
That's not a
actually
condemnation.
vote
It's not
for
going to get
those
them out of a
people. They
building that they
protect those
barged
people
into. They are an
because they
unruly
end up
mob.
becoming one of them.
Weapons have been found. At least 1 or 2 shots were fired. People have been injured. They've stopped the democratic process. You know, Lester, I worked up there for years. I know those corridors in that building and love that institution, the House and the Senate, as flawed as it is,
Wait,
as
there's a
gridlocked as
fire?
it has been, as much as we criticize
Am I
it.
behind something?
But for the process of democracy, of counting the electoral votes to be stopped in its tracks, and for people to be hiding under their desks and grabbing their gas masks
somebody got shot.
on the floor of the House
They found
and
a
in the
bomb.
Senate, and for the people, for the vice president and the people in succession, for continuity of government to be taken by Secret Service and Capitol Police out and put in secure locations for their safety is simply shocking. I am as shocked as any other citizen who loves our country and loves democracy, and especially someone who knows the people up there and has worked with them and our own colleagues up there. I just want to say the irony. Here's a statement from the Speaker of the Grand National Assembly of Turkey, a government that is, just run by a dictator where people are jailed, journalists and people who are democratic protesters. We follow the events in the USA with concern and invite the parties to calmness, the Speaker writes on Twitter. We believe that problems will always be solved within the law and National Assembly of Turkey, a government that is, just run by a dictator where people are jailed, journalists and people who are democratic protesters. We follow the events in the USA with concern and invite the parties to calmness, the Speaker writes on Twitter. We believe that problems will always be solved within law and democracy. As Turkey, we have always been in favor of the law and democracy, and we recommend it to everyone. This is just a continuation of a government run by this president, his Secretary of State, who have embraced dictators, ignored human rights, ignored the jailings of protesters, women and others who've been tortured in jail in Saudi Arabia. And now we see mob rule in the capital of the United States. It is beyond shocking.
It's okay to disagree with people, but what's not okay is to
Andrea
force your
Mitchell.
beliefs on
Andrea,
people.
thanks very much. We are about 90 minutes
I like Kool-Aid,
from
and
the
you don't like Kool-Aid.
curfew that will go into effect at 6 p.m. Eastern time in Washington, D.C. The light already beginning to fade there as there seems to be no break in where we are in terms of what we've been seeing on the front sides of the Capitol. No movement for people to leave or to remove them, and at the same time there is still business for this Congress to do to exercise and fulfill its duty to count the electoral vote and essentially confirm this election. I am going to begin preparing for NBC Nightly News. Will be going on the air in a few hours. I'll leave it in the capable hands of Savannah Guthrie, but our NBC News coverage will continue. Savannah, we'll send it to you, and we'll see you in a bit later.
All right, we'll see you on Nightly, Lester. A couple of developments. The FBI SWAT team has now entered the Capitol complex, and our reporter on the Hill, Leanne Caldwell, has tweeted some video of that. So there seems to be some movement on the part of law enforcement to start to get this thing under control. Lester mentioned the 6 o'clock curfew. So while we're talking about law enforcement, let me get to Pete Williams. Pete, bring us up to date, because the governor of Virginia said that a request had come in for the National Guard of Virginia to come in and help. We know the FBI is on the scene. What do you know about what law enforcement is there, what's being brought to bear, and what the plan is here? Because it does seem like we've been in this state of suspended animation where members of the House and Senate are in lockdown. But
I can't.
Making sure that everyone's gone, that all places are safe. They'll have to sweep the rooms and make sure that there's nothing left behind. 2 improvised explosive devices were found not in the Capitol, but on the Capitol grounds, like pipe bomb looking devices. They're being disrupted. We don't know whether they're actually working or hoax devices, but they're simply destroying them. So for those reasons, it's going to take a while. And I just talked to a member of the Senate leadership to say, what are you going to do? Are you going to wait until it's safe to go back into the House chamber? Well, that could be 24 hours. And the answer was, and this is being discussed right now on the leadership of both sides, my understanding is, the sentiment up there right now is we're not leaving. We're going to stay here and do our jobs, even if it means doing it from the 2 secure locations. We know what they are, but we're not reporting them for obvious reasons, where the House members and senators are. So there's, at least right now, the feeling up there is, let's keep going. Now, the Constitution
Well, that's
doesn't
interesting.
say,
Wait, Pete, so you're saying, I just want to make sure I'm catching that, because that's, I mean, some of these senators are together, presumably enough for a quorum, since these were the senators who were on the floor. You're saying they might want to just keep it going before this is even under control? They're just going to keep going?
yes, or at least some point soon. In other words, not wait until the Capitol Police get the whole place cleared out, the whole Capitol swept, and declare it safe for the 2 chambers to come, to be in operation again. Because that could take, as I say, 24 to 48 hours, I suppose 24 hours, to get that, get the House and Senate floor ready for people to come back.
Okay, come on,
but the senators right now, because what I asked this member of the leadership is, what are you going to do? You're going to go home and come back tomorrow? And the feeling was, no, we're going to stay right here and resume our work. Now, I started to say, there's no requirement in the Constitution for where they do this. It just says that it shall be in the presence of the Senate and the House, so the counting. So it could be anywhere. Now, there is a federal law, the Electoral Count Act, that says that it has to be in the House chamber, but they're, exploring ways around that statutory requirement. It's not in the Constitution. So all I can tell you is that right now there's a feeling of, let's not leave.
Get warmed up.
I would describe it as sort of defiance, that we will not be cowed by this outrageous intrusion into the Capitol. They're determined to keep going. And the person I was talking to said when this was suggested in this group of senators that are in the secure location, there was applause.
I think if you go and
well,
use
that's
code
a fascinating reporting from inside. Wouldn't you
That's
like to be a fly on the wall to see what's happening? Because in that area, in that secure location, are senators who, of course, are on both sides of this issue of whether the Electoral College vote should have been objected to at all. And here they are all together because of this mob that descended on the Capitol. So, and we've heard that sentiment from some of the members that we've talked to on the phone, Pete, saying, if I have to be here all night, we want to get this done. This is our constitutional duty. We heard Tammy Duckworth, a decorated U.S. veteran who lost her legs in combat, saying, nothing will stop me from performing my constitutional duties. But your reporting is pretty extraordinary, Pete, that they are even considering doing it right where they sit, not waiting for the Capitol to be clear, that they seem quite determined to do so. Stand by there, Pete.
Correct.
Keep us posted. Casey, over to you on the Hill. I know you're plugged in. You're our Capitol Hill correspondent. What are you hearing in terms of the security, but also in terms of what the plan is now for the business of the Congress?
Well, Savannah, I'm hearing a sentiment similar to what Pete was just reporting out here, that what had started off today as chaos, some fear, uncertainty, is moving into resolve. An insistence, Joe Manchin told me to not let these thugs take over, that they are going to return to their work. And there are some logistical questions.
I've been landing a Slurpee during my warm-ups and then just popping off. You get some good loot up here. Here we go. Free one. Free elimination right here. I'll take it. Bye-bye. How did they not give me the elim for that? That's weak. Golly, man, that dude made me actually have to work for this. Close the door, bro. Oh my god, this bloom is so bad. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the mats and the charge. Pretty good, right? What's up, Jay? Hey, y'all like the new setup, though? I do want this P90 real quick though. Hey, big guy, Big Chungus, come here. Where you at? Can I have your P90 first? Let me catch one of these bounties. Oh, I should have caught a bounty first. That dude will run through some ammo, boy. I need to find a llama. I ain't got no mats. Wait, where are those guys at? Oh, I see him. Alright, we're getting out of there. I don't want to deal with those cats. Yeah, like they're just super tanky all of a sudden. Like the bosses are just so tanky. It's unbelievable. Did he blow himself up? Well, that's not cool. Man, now I gotta go get all those. Man, that dude just took away a good elimination from me because he was too stupid. I really need to go get this bounty. That dude's way over here. Is there a car I can get? Oop, went the wrong way. How do I do that? There's a car. Can I catch an upgrade right here, though? Ooh, somebody poached my target. Can you upgrade my gun? Thank you. Can you upgrade my gun? Thank you. What about this one? Can you upgrade this one? I'll take it. Let's upgrade that one more time. Why not? Let's just go for gold, right? Can we do this one? Oh, I need a bit more gold. Okay. Wait, where'd you go? Can I get a bounty from you? Alright, I'll put some stone. Can't you see I'm doing something? Oh, come on. Who did that? There's no way it was that guy. I just wasted up all my gold for what? Yes, son. Is your book dry yet? You should probably take a blow dryer to it. What? Okay, that's cool. That's smart. So why are you doing it in here while you're watching my stream? Doesn't look like it. Looks like you're still working on the same thing. Thanks, kids. So kids, thanks for watching on YouTube too, man. I appreciate it. Not gonna lie, I kind of popped off a little bit at the beginning of that game. Alright. Whenever y'all are ready. But it was just confirmed Jon Ossoff has won his seat, so we will have a fully Democratic controlled House. All right, Jay. We'll see you when you get back. I miss airplanes. Where did this fool go? Ooh, he got me. He got me good. I don't even know why I returned to the lobby. There was nothing to clip on that one. That dude just destroyed my whole sense of being. Alright, I'm gonna go get in the team room. We'll get warmed up real good. What? The handwriting? Okay. Then we might just have to send you back to school. Wait, is there a plane down there? So there's planes in Team Rumble, but there's no planes in the regular game? Yep. Oh wait, that plane just spawned in and then spawned out. Okay, there's one. Okay, there we go. 6%, 60%. Okay, let's just suck her up. There we go. I should probably go get a shotgun, right? Wait, no. Stop, plane. Alright, well, I'm gonna go get my stuff and then I'll go back there and get it. Wait, what happened to that shotgun? Oh. I might not even make it. Whew, that was close. Alright, whatever. I knew that was about to happen. Gotcha. Same guy twice. Yeah, that's what I like to do. Whatever, I'm rifting. Just because I can. actually a fun game today. What is this we do on top of the door? What's Secret Skin Skids? I know that the bloom on this gun is horrible. I'm about to get sniped. I only got 35 bullets. I could wait. That's funny. I killed that same dude like 3 times. I know he getting mad at me. Whoo! Asteroids. More like hemorrhoids. Got him. Thanks, Aiden. can't dance. Alright, so Skids, let me know about the secret skin. So what's the deal? What's the deal with the secret skin? Okay, you can stop dancing now, big guy. Oh, wait. Gotta go get them clips. Thanks, Skiz. Now tell me about the secret skin. Oh, I think I only got eliminated one time that whole game. Yep, just the one. Oh, you don't know? Okay. You thought I knew. Well, I don't know nothing, buddy. I had to stand up for a second. By the way, we're going to be launching a new website too pretty soon. Just hadn't figured out what I want the domain name to be. Alright, let's go. Okay, so the planes just not spawn every game? A little bit of gold. Oh my god, nothing but miniguns? I read something where that people still think that the Secret Skin is still Nick Fury. I don't think that's right, but that's what I heard. Like, it wouldn't make sense for it to be Nick Fury. Oh my god, with the dragon's breath? Like, I hate that thing. If anybody wants it, there it is. Purple charge. Oop, no, I'll take that though. Okay, whatever. That's fine. Gotcha, buddy. Got your 6. What was he thinking? Sorry about your luck, buddy. Thank you. Alright, let me catch some more fishies. Or something. Really? No more fishies in this whole river? Alright, there we go. Alright, there's some more fishies. Alright, I'm about to pop this, and then I'm gonna go grab that rocket launcher, and... oh wait, I got another one. Cool. Whatever you want, buddy. It's up to you today. Oh my goodness, yep, I'd rather have that. Got him. Big old dumb face. You know what, I'm gonna carry that rocket launcher. I don't need this fish thing no more. Alright. Hey, Dr. Kurdog, how are you? I had a Kurdog once. He seemed smart at times, but then other times, he was a struggle bunny express. I can't track anybody. Like, seriously. All right, cool. Now I get. Oh, we died. We dead. We lose it. Not good. I'm doing good, man. Yeah, they shot somebody earlier. Did they shoot another person? I know they shot somebody earlier. Let's go check it out. Okay, I'm only seeing just one person shot.
Attached, you saw not only Trump 2020 hanging from the scaffolding here of the United States Capitol, but there was another sign off to the left, another from one of those structures that was built for Inauguration Day.
Wait,
in which
you know
it said,
Dr. Kerdog?
"We the people," and it said, "We will bring DC to its knees." And you know, today they did. They stopped this process from going forward here. They essentially locked down the U.S. Senate. They locked down the U.S. House. Yeah. And it was a law enforcement presence that was not prepared. And the question is, at what point will these final, I mean, I hate to use this language, but essentially this last stand be kiboshed here. Again, a half hour away, but you still have at least 1,000, 2,000 people up here, up here on the west end of the U.S. Capitol that are holding firm. It's a matter of what does this next half hour look like, and what does the Washington, D.C. look like tonight and also tomorrow.
The curfew, you keep referencing it, 27 minutes is when the curfew hits. Vaughn, stick around. We want to keep your shot up. Pete Williams,
okay, so
I want to bring him back.
That's up in 25
Pete,
minutes,
you've got a better idea of what we've seen some pictures. They clearly are trying to do some disbursement. We know that there is an FBI SWAT team in the Capitol. What is happening right now that we don't see?
And a National Guard movement on the way should be arriving there shortly, we're told, and then they'll coordinate and begin to push people out, do a final clear of the building and get them off the grounds. That's the overall plan. Meantime, Chuck, back inside the Capitol, I just talked to a member of the Senate leadership who said that they haven't decided yet whether they will try to do this. First of all, they are determined to continue the count tonight. They want to keep going. They're defiant. They want to make the point that they can't be stopped. The only question is whether they do it in the secure location, which is outside the Capitol building, but on the Capitol grounds where they are now, or most of them are. The leadership is in a separate place. That's McConnell, Schumer, and Chuck Grassley, who's the president pro tem, as well, we believe, as the vice president, who we think is still up on the Capitol grounds. The question is whether they would do it in their secure locations, or would they try to go back to the House floor or back to the Senate floor. So that's question one. Question two is, when they resume, what are they going to do? They have to finish and vote on the objection to the Arizona
this
ballots.
Is historic.
That was what caused them to go their separate chambers in the first place. I'm told that the objecting senators are now meeting.
A lot of these guys
whether
are
to
storming
simply say,
the
okay,
U.S.
that was enough,
Capitol
we
with
made our point,
Confederate flags.
Or whether they also want to object to the votes from other states when this continues. But the mood that I got from this member of the leadership reflecting what this person said was the view of all 97 senators who were there is we're not leaving till we finish.
And so do we have a sense, and do you have a sense from your law enforcement sources, when do they think they could get operational control inside the Capitol?
I don't think they have any idea because they have to make sure it's clear. They have to sweep it for potential explosive devices. And that's not just being prudent, there were a number of explosive devices or potential explosive devices.
Explosives. Yeah, I know Iran made a threat, and like our country's weaker because of the lack of leadership. Like the United Kingdom wouldn't even extradite a criminal to us, or at least somebody we claim as a criminal. And like they're one of our oldest allies, they wouldn't even extradite a criminal to us. Like some Iranian hackers took over FAA airwaves today or yesterday to say something was going to happen today, like Russian hackers, Russian bounties on American soldiers, and then the president just pretends like nothing's happening. Just, I ignore it, it'll go away. Dude, like, this is unbelievable. Would you stop shooting at me? I really wish you would just stop doing that. Right? And you don't know, like, man, if I could just up and move to Canada right now, I would. I mean, that's where all the good YouTubers are at anyway, right? Ooh, a blue charge. Sweet. Speaking of the best YouTubers being up in Canada, I think I'll be able to have that build video that I just made up before the end of the week, so that'll be a good thing. But I say that now, I keep getting jobs, and like the stuff that I do for me, I'm not able to do. Working too much.